We just exploring our new neighborhood. There's a lot of farms, a lot of farmland, huh, Nomi?
Got that right.
There's cows, there's farms, there's raw cow milk you could buy. Everything. It's humid too today.
It feels nice.
It does feel nice, but you have not 1 ounce of fat on your bones.
Mommy.
So you don't feel the heat like me.
Yes, you feel it. You feel it all the time.
I run warm. Look at, there's Hampshire College right there. Remember we drove in there before?
Yes, I will not be attending it.
I know. Yeah.
It's pretty over here. It's very green.
Very green and lush. Lushy lush, Nomi. So we went, okay, we finished our shopping for the day.
Yes.
Put this window up. It's too loud. And we got the cats their food. They're going to be so excited.
I know.
And tonight, I guess we'll see the movie. What movie is it again?
Selfless.
Selfless. Did you read what it said on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh no, I didn't read that yet. But people that saw the film said that they liked it.
All right. All right. So you start school next Monday.
Yes,
right?
I do.
So you nervous about that?
A little bit, because it's like not regular high school. It's like junior college, which is a little bit like ahead of high school. So I'm a little bit nervous, but everyone's at the same level as me, which is good. And maybe I'll like meet new people or something, or make some new friends. And my teacher will probably be nice, and I'm gonna have her as an art teacher too. Right?
You are.
Yeah.
Your advisor you're talking about?
Yeah, so it'll be kind of interesting to like get to know her.
Yeah, I think. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I think so. I think you do have her as a teacher and an advisor.
Yeah.
Her name is Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer Sims.
Yes. So, when we were speaking earlier, when I had you call them, because I want you to practice getting in the habit of logging into your account online, your college account, and also talking to them on the phone, because I know you have a bit of a fear of talking on the phone to places because of
My stutter.
because of your stutter. So you did it, and you did it very well.
Thank you. I know I started a little bit at times. Like when I was like saying, like she asked me what day of the week or something, and I said Monday, but I couldn't say it that well, so I was like, and I was like, oh God, just say it.
But you know what was good about it, Nomi?
What?
You did not give up. Because you know how sometimes you'll say, like, oh God, Monday, and you'll get a little frustrated?
Yeah.
You didn't do it. You just went through your Monday.
It's true.
You know, and that's it.
I know.
What is your worry, like, about stuttering?
Oh, that I might get weird looks from people, or they might think it's kind of funny, so they might laugh a little bit, or they might be mean and make fun of it. That's kind of my fear.
And that's a valid fear, of course. But you know, sometimes when I think about that, I think, who would do that? Like, I could see if you were in grade school, because little kids are young and then they're mean and, you know, they're immature. Mm-hmm. But I can't imagine somebody in college hearing you stutter and being like, stutter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that happening.
I know. But yeah.
So is that, what else? What other fear do you have?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main things, like, that make people uncomfortable when they stutter. It's pretty much just that. I mean, I hate speaking in front of people. I don't like to always present. Like, there are times when I have been okay presenting, but most of the time I don't like to present.
Well, that's a totally different topic, isn't it? I mean, it could be all because you have a stutter, but even if you did not have a stutter, you might not want to present.
True.
You know, I mean, I know I didn't like to do public speaking. I didn't like to do that either. I don't have a stutter. A lot of people don't like to do that.
I hate it.
But just in terms of your stutter, so when you had 2 years of speech therapy, which helped a little bit. But I guess the thing with speech therapy is you got to keep it up, right?
Yeah.
And do homework, and it's a lot. You got to keep it up and do that homework every night.
I know.
So we didn't really keep that up.
No.
But is that something you want to go back to?
I mean, like, the thing is, I don't want to get rid of my stutter because I think it kind of makes me interesting and unique.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to find ways to, like, control it if I feel that I want to or need to.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
See, that's interesting because you said you don't want to get rid of your stutter because it makes you interesting and unique. It's a part of you.
Yeah.
But yet, you're kind of embarrassed by it, or you don't want people to laugh at you. Like, even in our own family, there's people that don't even know you have a stutter.
Which I hate.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Though? You hate it, but it's like you concealed the secret. You know, you've had the stutter since 5th grade.
Yeah.
And people in our own family don't realize you have it. But yet, it's so funny because we all live all over the United States, so we don't have family like right next door, or else they would know, right? So we don't talk to our family all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
But and then when we do get together, do you find yourself talking a lot with your uncles and?
No, except for Uncle Seth. We talk to him a lot. Whenever he comes over, we have a fun time talking to him. And my cousins, when I'm around them, I like to hang out with them and talk to them a lot, especially my cousin Neela. Me and her are very close, so I'm 100% myself around her all the time. And I stutter around her all the time, and she doesn't even, like, she almost acts as if she doesn't even notice, because I think she just thinks that that's just like the way I am. So I'm completely comfortable being around her. Like, I have no problem with it. But other people in our family, I get a little bit like shy around them.
And then that's because of the stutter.
Yeah, and sometimes also and also in general, because I feel like I don't always have a lot in common with them, or like I don't really know what to talk about with them or say to them.
Yeah, well, you are young too. I mean, when I was young and my uncles came around, we would talk about general things, and then it would be, you know.
Yeah. Except for great uncle David or Uncle Ron. My great uncles, I'm able to talk to them. Like my Uncle Ron, me and him, we email, and he sends me all these beautiful pictures from all the places that he likes to travel to, like from Italy or stuff like that. And my great uncle David, whenever he's around, he always loves to talk to me, so I'm able to talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
I like to be around him a lot too, and he's more like, he's not uncomfortable to talk to.
He's a complete type B personality, very mellow.
Yes.
Non-judgmental.
I know.
Yeah, he's just an easygoing guy.
Mm-hmm. I've been able to talk to him ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of people that have stutters, and there's a lot of famous people. You know them. You know all the famous people that have stutters.
That's true.
Who are they again?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yep, she has one.
James Earl Jones.
Yes.
He
had a pretty severe stutter.
Yes. And also, supposedly Nicole Kidman had one,
mm-hmm.
which I'm very surprised by. I had no idea that she had one.
Oh, okay.
And Michelle from Destiny's Child, she had one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Me neither, until I saw that list.
Who else?
Oh, our Vice President, Joe Biden. I don't know if he has one now or if he used to have one. But yeah, him.
Oh. Ooh. Sorry. Bumpy road. Okay, so I didn't know he had one either. Interesting, no me.
I know. Oh, and some people were saying, I remember this just popped in my head. I just popped in my head now. It hasn't popped in my head for a long time, for a few years, since I was at speech therapy back when I was like 15 or 14. No, like around that age. It was talking about like well-known people that have stutters, and it said that supposedly like there's like this theory or something that Moses, way back in the day or whatever, supposedly might have had a stutter or something was up with his speech, but they think that he might have had one.
Oh yeah?
Which is really interesting. Yeah. So speech impediments have been around for a long time. I mean everything has been around for a long time.
And when it comes to stutters and speech impediments, people that don't understand them or, just don't understand them, what is the most common thing that they think if you have one? Yeah. Usually,
so there's a difference between people that don't understand them and people that are mean, and they do understand them, or they're just mean. The people that don't understand them, usually they might give you like a strange look, or they might say they ask you what.
The phone just rang and turned our video off. Okay, go ahead, honey.
As I was saying. So, people that don't understand stutters, like I said, they might give you a weird look, or if they ask you what your name is and you introduce yourself, and you might say something like, "My name is Emily." Like they stutter like that. I kind of did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They might find it a little bit funny, and they might be like, "Oh, your name is Emily." Like they might kind of comment on that, because obviously they're not used to hearing that.
So they're mocking you,
kind of not in a mean way, but more slightly in a playful way. But it could still be mean, because it is kind of rude to act that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they might kind of respond in that way, or they might say something what's wrong with you, or are you okay? Like something kind of like that, when obviously you are okay. Or they might ask you they might ask you a question that might actually be rude, but they don't think it's rude, or it might be kind of ignorant.
Like what?
Is there something wrong with you? Kind of like that. Something kind of rude.
That is rude.
Yeah, something kind of rude like that.
But it's their way of wanting to understand what's going on, right?
Yeah, it is. Even though they didn't say it the right way, but they could have. Because if you don't understand, if you don't understand something, there's better ways of asking. There are some people that have been asked rude questions. Like this one girl I saw on YouTube, she was talking about her stutter, and she said people have said some mean things to her too, and someone asked her something, but the way she said it sounded like it almost sounded like I wasn't even sure if they were trying to be mean to her, but it was just a really rude question. But they asked her something kind of rude, they said to her, "Are you retarded?" That's what they said to her, and obviously she's not. And even and it's just a rude thing to ask, and also as if being retarded is a bad thing, which it's not at all. And but to me it didn't sound like they were trying to be mean. It just sounded like they were asking her a rude question. Like they were just saying something rude, and it kind of came off more like an ignorant person.
Definitely.
Like that's what it seemed more like. Like they were ignorant, not mean, but it was still very mean to ask her that, and that definitely offended her a lot. So sometimes people will ask like extreme questions like that, and then the people that are mean, they might laugh, or they might mock you and tease you, or they might give you. They would also give you a weird look, but it would be kind of like a weird, mean look. And then they might say something rude or stuff like that. So that's basically how those kinds of people react. But the people that do understand stutters and that aren't mean, they don't react badly at all. They just act as if they probably like they didn't even hear you stutter. Like it's a normal thing. Like that's just the way that you talk. That's how they act.
Yes. And I know people mean well, but sometimes they could do things that could be annoying, right? Like finish your sentences.
Yeah.
Or some people think maybe if you were to speak slower, you wouldn't stutter, which, you know, maybe it would work a little bit, but that's not really the problem. What else was there? That maybe something happened to make you stutter, which does happen. You know, people could go through something and they could develop a stutter, you know, but there's so many different types of stutters out there and so many reasons. People could be born with a stutter, right?
That's true.
So, yeah.
Most people have stutters when they're like young kids. Like it develops in their speech, and some like that's the most common reason. And some people get stutters if something happens to them in their lives. Like so I think that's like a little less common than the other reason, but I think it kind of like depends sometimes. But usually it's formed in people's speech when they're young kids.
So how do you think you're stuttering? So for you, what helps you?
So something that helps me is when I meet people, so like I'll tell them that I have a stutter, and I'll tell them like that it makes me more comfortable for people to know, just because I get like a little insecure about it. And then people always respond by saying, "Oh, it's okay," or "I don't care if you have a stutter," or they kind of just act as if it's like not a big deal. So that always makes me feel better when people react that way, or they smile, or basically stuff like that. So that's something that helps me, and I feel that if like the more I say that and the more I realize that people aren't gonna act the way I think that they'll act, then I'm probably gonna get used to it, and then after a while I may not even have to tell them anymore, because I would start to become so used to it and a little more comfortable speaking, like stuttering around people, because more people would know. So
Yeah.
And it would probably get in my head that the only time someone would be rude or mean or act in a way that I wouldn't like is only because the only way that'll happen is if that person is actually a mean person, or if they are kind of like, or they're kind of ignorant and don't understand it. But otherwise, everybody knows what a stutter is, and they know how to react around people that do have stutters. They know to treat them just like how you would treat anyone else. Like you would treat people with stutters and speech impediments in general like they're just like everyone else, because we are like normal people. We just have something a little bit different about us that everyone else doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just as regular as everyone else. But when you hear us talk, we do sound very different from other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. We do sound very different. Like when I hear other people stutter, they sound extremely different from how other people sound, or other people with speech impediments. They don't sound like normal. people. I guess I want to say that, but they are normal. They're just like everyone else.
That's right.
But some people don't always understand that or always completely see it that way because it's so different, and it's not common to have a speech impediment or a stutter. I feel like it's slightly rare to always have that kind of thing, because when I was watching this documentary about people that stutter in the UK, the lady that was narrating, she said that there are about 600,000 people in the UK that stutter, which is not a lot of people because there are obviously a ton of people that live in the UK. Like there's millions of people that live in the UK. Like in Scotland and England and Ireland, like there's tons of people there. So, what? Oh, is that where I used to ride? Oh, I used to horseback ride there. Okay, but anyway.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. Like just like in England, there's millions and tons of people, and then so it's like.
That's right.
So it's kind of crazy that there's 600,000 people out of all those millions of people that live in those 3 countries that stutter. So it's or have speech impediments. So it's very rare to have something like that. So that's why a lot of people don't always that's why there are some people that might not respond the way that you want them to, because they're not used to seeing that, because it's not very common. And then and that might be why a lot of people with speech impediments or stutters get insecure about it, and it tends to kind of take over their lives in a way because they know that not a lot of people have it. So that's why they get very uncomfortable with it. Like I get uncomfortable with it a lot sometimes because I know it's not very common, and you just don't always know how people are going to react. So
do you find like that? Do you find when you do meet new people, or say you're in a class environment and you want to say something that you don't say exactly what you want to say because you have so much anxiety about your stutter that you don't say what you really need to say?
That happens to me a lot sometimes. That does happen. Or sometimes if I am talking and I just can't get out a word and it's really hard for me to, that could be kind of stressful, especially and then people around you will be patient and they'll wait for you, or they might say that it's okay. But sometimes you try to get it out, but it just won't come out, and it can be really hard, and it almost feels impossible. Or it just takes you a long time to actually get the word out, and that can be very, very uncomfortable and embarrassing. Sometimes when people ask me certain questions, so they're talking to me, and if I can't pronounce a word that well, and I know I can't pronounce it, or if the word starts with a certain letter that I have a hard time with, the letter S, any word that starts with the letter S tends to be hard for me. I tend to have a hard time with that. Every person with a stutter has that problem. It's very common.
With different letters.
Yeah.
What are your letters?
Words.
S, what else?
R's can be a little bit hard, and N's are a bit hard, and P's are very hard. I have never been able to say the word pretty fluently. I always say pretty.
Yep.
Always. Even when I'm 100% comfortable and I'm just talking, I just say it like that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. yeah. I don't even have time to be nervous or anything like that when I stutter. I can be talking normally and I'll just stutter. That's just the way my voice is.
So someone would, because you often comment on pretty people, and so
yes, I do.
One might think you're not telling the truth.
I know. It's are you sure?
Because you'll say she's pretty,
and then they might be like, huh. Like that about it, but it's I really do think she's pretty. I just can't say that word that well. I have a hard time with it, but I think if people knew, but if that person knew that I had a stutter, then they wouldn't think that at all. They would think the complete opposite.
Yes.
Yeah. But if I have a hard time pronouncing a word, I might change it with a different word that I have an easier time pronouncing, just to get away from the embarrassing moment of like stuttering around that one around people or around someone that I'm talking to, and like knowing that like I must look a little bit weird or my voice must sound a little bit strange. Like if I say I'm from Amherst, like that just makes me feel kind of like, oh god, like I wonder how my face looked or how that person must look at me. Like I wonder if they're gonna give me a weird look or something, or if they're gonna be like, are you okay? Like so I always get like that fear in me. But every stutterer has that. Like they all say that. When I saw parts of that documentary, there were people that were saying that, like that they always try to replace words so it makes them more comfortable to talk.
Yeah.
And like because they get very embarrassed when they stutter around people. And so like there's also this one girl that wants to become a nanny, but she has to work around kids, and she is kind of nervous to stutter around them because she feels like they might not completely understand what she's talking about, because her stutter is kind of strong. So it's sort of hard for her to like, she feels like that they might not completely understand what she's trying to say. So she's very she's kind of scared about that, which I would completely understand. That like that's definitely kind of scary.
So I know you have changed words where I know you were going to say one word but you changed it to another word. Yeah, that's a common thing. Is that something that you would like to... Is that... I mean, it seems like that would be stressful, but you don't want to stutter, so you change the word. Do you want to get to a point where you just stutter away and...
Not care?
Not care.
Yes, I do. Like, I just want to be able to be comfortable when I talk around people sometimes. Because, like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like this all the time. Like, I'm very, very happy all the time. And I'm able to be myself around a lot of people. And people do see me as, like, they definitely do see me as, like, a very happy person. But I do get a little insecure about my stutter sometimes.
I know when you're with your friends and you're really comfortable and you're stuttering away, that it's like the best thing ever. And I love it when you have that one moment where when your stutter goes longer than usual, and then everyone starts cracking up together.
It's so funny. Yeah.
Because it's like it's mutual, funny. You know, and it's not making fun of anyone, and it's just perfect.
And I would laugh anyway because I know that I look funny in that, and like my voice sounds funny to me when it happens. So like even if they didn't laugh because they weren't sure if they should, like I would probably be the only one laughing because I know that it sounds really funny. So I would be laughing either way.
But you know the times that I'm talking about, they're funny. Those times are funny.
I know.
Or it's like a machine gun.
Now. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like I'll just go on and then we all laugh at like the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me when like people that I'm close with, or that or I mean anyone in general, if it's like a good moment to laugh, like then that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Like it could be anyone, because it's like obvious, because like that's different, but most of the time people shouldn't laugh.
No, they should not laugh. No, those are the times that we're speaking of, is when we're in our home and it's all comfortable and
exactly.
And you are actually the first one that usually laughs, you know.
Yeah, then other people laugh, so like they know that it's okay for them to. Like then it's fine.
Yeah. But otherwise, no.
Exactly.
It's not okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, with your new journey into college, I think you will do very well.
Thanks, Mom.
Totally different than high school.
And it's definitely not scarier. It's better because that's where people will be more mature. You're around people that are obviously going to be more mature and older than you too, so they know how to act. And in high school, that's like where everything happens.
Yeah, high
that you don't
school.
want to happen.
Right. Even though you had a wonderful time in high school.
I loved high school.
Yeah.
I loved school in general, but college is like the place where you don't have to worry about anything like that, like about the way people see you. Like that's when everything changes.
It'll be good.
I know.
Well, is there any last words you would like to sum up the video?
Before I die?
Before you... Yes, no, me. Not before you die.
Because you said any last words, so that made me think of...
No, please.
I won't die.
So I take that as a...
No, I think I said everything I need to.
That was nice. Okay, honey buns. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video.
I look so tiny and far away.
I look so... Hello. I am in the video.
Ogre.
Thanks.
Oh man, I'm just kidding.
It's true though.
You do not look like an ogre.
Especially with this hair. Okay. So you'll have a lovely evening, afternoon, day,
Morning.
morning. And I'll see you in the next video.